In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 20 things that have really surprised me about China that I think you will find really interesting too. If you're new here, my name is Elisa and I've been in China with my family for just over 1 year, so I can't wait to share those experiences with you. To make this video even more interesting, I'm actually going to be filming this around different locations in my neighborhood that will be different to that of my neighborhood tour video. So I hope that you will follow us along. Just for context, our apartment building is actually right behind me here in this little set of buildings that you can see, so only just a few minutes away. And of course, don't forget to share below which one has surprised you the most. Let's get started. First up, lining up. You're going to be coming across people that have a hard time waiting in queues and waiting for the turns. This can be anywhere from the train stations to getting on the train, even buying for something at the shop or tourist attractions. And I noticed that the busier it gets, the worse it gets. Now, I find this really surprising because of how well thought out and organized the country actually is. And I'm not saying that it's everybody. However, I'm just saying that it's good to know to expect that it's going to happen to you. Next up, this is the one thing that I actually hate about living in China, and sorry, this is not supposed to be a video about things that I hate about China, but spitting. Why is this so common still in this day and age? To be honest, I find it really surprising because I don't know if you've seen my previous videos, but the streets of Hangzhou are so well maintained, so tidy. You usually see workers out here sweeping, even washing down the sidewalks. So despite all the cleanliness and organization, spitting is still so common. Walking along the streets of Hangzhou, this is a normal sight. You will find that people leave their bikes or e-bikes unattended with no chains. They don't lock them up at all. And honestly, this is just how safe people feel here. And I have to admit that it actually took us a little while to get used to this safety. We used to lock up our bikes all the time. And at the very beginning, we actually thought that we lost Joaquin's scooter, that someone had actually taken it from our building, which is really silly now looking back. In fact, what had actually happened was that he rode it to school one day and left it at one of the gates that we don't usually use very much. And it just sat there for about 3 days until we remembered that that's where we left it. And when we went back, it was still there waiting for us. And even now, David will leave his bike outside of school. He's left it overnight and nobody will touch it. And there's actually a few reasons for this. Number one, there are cameras everywhere. For example, there's one here, one right behind me. So if you do take anything that's not yours, you will be caught very quickly. Secondly, there's a bike sharing system all throughout the city. We have these red bikes. They're very affordable. You can just check them out when you want to use them. They're usually free on the first hour. And with so many pick up and drop off locations, you can simply pick it up, say ride it to the train station, leave it by the train station, and then pick up another one when you get to your destination. And number three, it's just not part of their culture. It's just not what people do here. Next up is Taobao. Think Shein or Temu or even Amazon, but on steroids. This platform is ridiculous. It has everything that you could ever need, from electronics to clothes, food, furniture, and literally anything in between, even animals. And as a foreigner particularly, you're going to love it because you're going to find so many different products, especially things that you might miss from back home, because Taobao, it's bound to have it. There is another app actually, which is called Pinduoduo. We haven't actually used it, but I have friends that have raved about it. Apparently it's even cheaper than Taobao. And the other thing that we love about Taobao is not only the high range of items that they have, but that usually shipping is free and things get either delivered straight to your door, or what brings me to my next point. Something that has completely blown my mind is this room. When you order from one of the many shopping platforms, if it's not delivered straight to your door, it comes to this parcel collection area, and it is so well organized. When your parcel arrives here, you receive the code for your parcel on the app and by SMS. You then self-collect from the shelves and check the item out at the self-service machines. The sheer amount of parcels that come in and out of this room blows my mind every time I think about it. Particularly since this collection point only services the 2 apartment complexes on this street. I usually see the delivery trucks outside on my way to the gym and the workers sorting through the piles. It's astonishing. And again, most importantly, people only take what they ordered. And the reason why that's so shocking is because we know these things wouldn't work in our home countries. Next up, food and drink deliveries, or anything really. You can shop and have it delivered at your door, or a convenient place for you to come and pick it up when you're ready. And we actually saw this for the first time when we first arrived in China and we were staying in a hotel in the city. We were really puzzled actually. We were sitting in the lobby and we noticed all these delivery drivers arriving in quick succession and dropping off packages of food, drinks, coffee, and just leaving them there out in the public area. And we honestly had no idea what was happening, but soon after we noticed people coming down and picking up their orders as they showed up. And it's that simple really. You just order, it gets dropped off and nobody touches it. Next up is rubbish. What an exciting topic, right? But what really surprised me about this is how good the waste management system here is. Each apartment complex actually has a building that's used to separate all your rubbish into different categories. So no, you don't simply drop it off and gets taken away. There's actually a person that is employed to open up all the rubbish bags and separate them into different categories. And anything that can be recycled gets taken to the correct place. And any food waste goes into a food bin, which I assume they use for compost. Very cool, right? China is so safe, but parents here have a hack. You'll often see children out playing on their own, going to the shops to buy the favorite snack, or even catching the train, but don't be fooled, their guardians know exactly where they are. Here, children have these smartwatches that are essentially like phones. They have a SIM card, they have GPS. It enables their parent to see where they are at all times. They can also call them and send them money as well so that they can pay for their own things with their card, just like we do on our own phones. And we actually recently bought one for our own son, Javi. He uses it to call us when he's done with his swimming training so that we can come and pick him up. And it's also been a fantastic tool for his social life because all of his friends have it. They can call each other, take photographs, or even show each other any fitness achievements that they've had while using their watches. So I think they're a really good tool for independence. And I have to say that I'm actually really impressed with this device. It has so many cool features, at least with the latest model. We can basically check on Javi's temperature, on his mood, to see if he's happy or sad. You can also set up different alerts. So for example, if he comes across an area that is dangerous, or let's say a water source like a swimming pool or a river, it can send you an alert. You can also set up safe zones for him to play in and get notified if he actually exits those areas. And you can also set up a route for him to use to come back from school. And again, if he deviates from the route, it will notify you. So I think it is super awesome. We have even sent one of Javi's friends home on a Didi or taxi on his own. And honestly, we still have some safety measures that we use, but here it is just so common for kids to do that. And he's got one of those watches and he was connected to his dad the whole time. So safe. And next up, it's probably one of my favorites, and that is grocery shopping. I honestly was so surprised to find out how convenient life is in China. I can basically buy all of our day-to-day necessities at the push of a button and have it delivered straight to my door within half an hour. I use an app called Ding Dong, and basically I pay a membership fee of 88 yuan for the year. And you'll be surprised, it gives me free delivery for every single order. I also get discount vouchers that I can use every week, and I get a free gift with every purchase as well. However, the most surprising thing is that I've never seen a mistake with any of my orders. Everything has always arrived, and the products that arrived are always of the best quality. Next up, live animals. This is something that I'm actually quite uncomfortable with. I was a long-time vegetarian, so I struggle with seeing animals being used for entertainment. And here I was really shocked to find out that children actually fish for fun. Yes, I am talking about little pools filled with real fish, or even the claw-style machines at local malls. It's honestly astonishing, very different from our culture. I've even seen baby turtles at my local stationery shop that really shocked me as well. And I am very accepting of the culture here. They do eat different foods to what I'm accustomed to. However, I'm still freaked out when I go to my local market and I see a bag of bullfrogs on the floor staring up at me, or the turtles ready to be chopped up. I don't know about you, but I do like to drink nice cold water, and everywhere that we've been to in the past has been the same, except for China. People here like to drink hot water, and you're going to find hot water dispensers accessible basically everywhere, from hospitals to trains to school, basically everywhere. And I think the belief is that hot water will actually heal anything from a stomachache to a broken heart. And who knows, maybe there's some truth to that. One of the first times that we came to this square in our town, we were highly amused to find, what, you wonder? People dancing. Yes, public dancing here is very, very popular. In fact, you're going to find groups of women usually dancing in perfect synchronicity to very loud music. And best of all, they have groups for all tastes in music. And it doesn't just stop at public dancing. There's also public singing or karaoke, even in the most touristy places in Hangzhou. In fact, one evening we went to Westlake thinking we would have a nice peaceful evening in the gardens. But as the evening started to set, all these people started to show up with the speakers ready to sing the night away. The internet here is a parallel universe. Forget everything that you know about using the internet back at home, because China has their own platforms for everything. We've got Douyin instead of TikTok, Bilibili instead of YouTube, WeChat or Weixin instead of private messaging on WhatsApp. It also has social media, shopping, paying and booking doctor's appointments, and Baidu for a search engine. And we can't forget Taobao, which is the biggest platform there is, and that will be instead of Amazon. Next up is e-bikes. There are currently millions of e-bikes silently cruising through our streets all over China. And I have to say that when we first arrived, we found it quite stressful and shocking, to be honest, because even the sidewalks are not safe from the e-bikes. They usually go against traffic and pedestrians do not have the right of way. I would say that now it's just become part of life. When we first arrived, we were so surprised to see the number of fruit shops around. I would say that at the moment, there's probably about 10 different fruit shops within a 10-minute walk from our apartment. But we have quickly learned that here fruit is highly regarded, and usually around celebrations like the Mid-Autumn Festival or Chinese New Year, you will find packs that you can actually purchase and gift to people to show appreciation. And even in tea houses, you will find that they'll serve fruit instead of cake. Next up is small kitchens and no ovens. When we arrived in China, we went to view 8 different apartments, and we quickly came to learn that small kitchens are basically the go here, and they usually don't come with ovens, so we had to buy our own. And many of you actually commented on our apartment tour video how small our kitchen actually is in comparison to the rest of the apartment. But we have quickly learned that people here actually eat out a lot. It is so convenient and affordable to just go down the street into one of the many local restaurants. So the size of the kitchen is not really a priority. Next up is ads. Now, I suppose that having an ad on certain apps on your phone is not that unusual. There's a certain app which is called Baidu Translate that we use quite a lot because we depend on translation apps here to communicate since we don't know the language yet. And this particular app has ads that reset every time you open it. That's not the only one. There's also Taobao, which is the biggest shopping app here in China. And again, every time you open the app, you have to watch an ad before you're able to utilize the app. And I guess it's not that surprising. The one that is really surprising though is the one in our lift in our apartment complex. It's not just a simple ad on the wall, it is actually a screen that's blasting ads all day long. And yes, sometimes they can be really annoying with really annoying tunes, which I find really hilarious. And the last one that's really frustrating is the one on our TV. Every time that we turn it on, we have to wait 15 seconds and we have to watch an ad before we can exit out of it. Something that's really surprised us about China is how every bit of land, it doesn't matter how big or small, that is free, it's used for farming. So we've got a field right behind me. This is one of the bigger ones, but even if it's just a little crook or a little sidewalk bit of land that's available, it will be used for farming. So we oftentimes see our neighbors going down to do their farming for the day. And then we also see people selling vegetables on the side of the road that I assume also come from these farms. I think it's really great that they do that. Last but not least, what's really surprised me about coming to China is actually the number of hateful messages that I have received since sharing our Chinese content. No, I don't live in a foreigner bubble. No, I am not being paid to say nice things about China. This is our real life in a real Chinese suburb where we live amongst many normal Chinese people, so we're not lying to you. However, what's actually shocked me the most is the number of lovely messages that we have also received, and that has been the majority. So thank you so much for being open and wanting to learn about our real life here in China. And of course, make sure that you let me know in the comment section below if any of these items have really surprised you the most. And I will see you on the next one.